Imagine you're flying past Venus. Through the window of your spacecraft, you see white clouds, smooth, unbroken, stretching across the entire planet in every direction. No gaps, no storms, just a perfect, silent sphere, glowing in the dark. It's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. You check the instruments out of habit: size, mass, gravity, distance from the sun, almost identical to Earth, every single one. You press your face against the glass and think, this could be home. Then you look closer, and something feels wrong. You can't explain it at first. The planet looks peaceful. It looks safe. It looks like it's waiting for you. But the more you stare at those clouds, the less they look like clouds. By the end of this video, you'll understand what's hiding beneath those clouds, why every machine we've sent there has been destroyed, and why what happened to Venus could be the most important warning our solar system has ever sent us. For most of human history, Venus was the most beautiful object in the night sky. And for a while, science agreed. Venus is Earth's near-perfect match. It sits right in the habitable zone. In the mid-20th century, astronomers stared at those clouds and saw a mystery. They imagined swamps, jungles. They filled the unknown with hope. The Soviet Union believed this so completely that their first missions were prepared for a tropical world. What they found instead is the most hostile environment ever measured by human technology. Let's talk about what actually waits for you there. Not just how it kills, but why it's been dead for so long. First, the pressure. The atmosphere of Venus presses down with 90 times the force of Earth's. To feel this weight here, you'd need to dive 900 meters under the sea. At that depth, your lungs don't slowly compress. They collapse. Instantly, you don't suffocate. You are squeezed out of existence. Second, the heat. Surface temperature, 475 degrees Celsius, hotter than Mercury, even though Venus is tens of millions of kilometers further from the sun. The reason? A greenhouse effect completely out of control. It's an oven that's been running non-stop for billions of years. The heat is everywhere. It doesn't just burn you, it erases you. Third, the clouds. That beautiful white veil is a planet-wide blanket of poison. It does rain, but it's acid rain. The droplets evaporate before they ever hit the ground, rise back up, and fall again. An endless, toxic cycle. And the wind? It screams at 300 kilometers per hour. The atmosphere moves 60 times faster than the ground beneath it, as if it's trying to escape. We've actually visited this place through machines. The Soviet Venera program spent 2 decades trying to touch the surface. The first probes were crushed 27 kilometers above the ground. They never even got close. Engineers had to stop thinking like aerospace designers and start thinking like submarine builders. They forged titanium spheres, chilled the interior before entry, and packed them with a chemical designed to absorb heat as it melted, buying the electronics maybe an hour of life before the furnace won. In 1982, Venera 13 set a record, 127 minutes. It sent back the first color images, a world where the rocks, the sky, and the horizon are all a haunting amber. It recorded the first sounds, the low drone of a dense atmosphere moving over the hull, and the grinding of a drill into basaltic rock. Then, the cameras went dark. The electronics melted. Another lander became just more scrap metal, deforming in the heat. The last photograph from the surface of Venus was taken by a machine that melted 40 years ago. Here's the part that makes Venus truly unsettling. It wasn't always like this. The chemistry of the atmosphere carries a fingerprint, the chemical ghost of water that once existed. Oceans, likely. A surface that may not have been so different from early Earth. Then, the sun brightened. Temperatures rose. The oceans began to evaporate, and the greenhouse effect had no off switch. The oceans boiled away, and the hydrogen escaped into space. Venus cooked itself to death. The feedback loop never stopped. It just keeps running. When you look at Venus in the evening sky, what are you actually seeing? You're seeing a ghost, a world that once had oceans, that was, for billions of years, Earth's twin. Now, it's a furnace. She hangs there every night, beautiful, silent, and close enough to touch. We sent machines to die there so we could understand. And what we learned is this: the same sunlight that warms your face every morning has already destroyed a world, slowly, relentlessly, without malice. Venus isn't a warning. Warnings are for people who might listen. Venus is a mirror, and the only question is, when we look at it, do we recognize what we see?